Today we're going to look at what makes a good interior layout for a book. So I get asked this question quite often, so I thought a good way to explain this to you would be to do a quick video. So what we've got here, this is a copy of my book Standout. Now what I've done is I've deliberately messed up the layout of my own book. So I didn't want to take a book that somebody else had done and show you the mistakes in that. So I've deliberately made a bit of a mess of my own layout, and what we'll do now is we'll go through and we'll give it a bit of a tidy up. Now everything you see here are common mistakes that we see self-publishers make in the layouts of their books. So these are just a few things to look out for when you're having your book design done. So this first page here is called the title page. So it's obviously just the title of the book. Now this page here, page 2 of the book, is called the imprint page, sometimes called the copyright page. Now you'll notice here, this one's got a page number on it, which it shouldn't have. So let's get rid of that. There we go. Now over here on the contents page, you see this quite often. So you see we've got part 1 and part 2 here in my book, and in the contents list there's page numbers for the parts, which you don't need at all. So we'll get rid of those. Nobody's going to go and look up the page number for the part. You've got the page numbers here for the next chapter, so you don't need those. And another thing you need here is you need a page number on your chapter. Your contents page. So there you go. So we've added a page number down there. Now what we don't need headers and page numbers on this thank you page. So we'll get rid of those. There we go. Now you'll notice here, this is something you see quite often, and this is something that needs to be tidied up. You'll see there's just one word down here by itself, which is often called an orphan. And you'll see here, there's a single line here. You've got a 2-line paragraph that splits over the page. So that's both a little bit difficult to read and it doesn't look too good either. So what we'll do, there's lots of ways to tidy this up, but what we'll do now is we'll adjust the spacing in this paragraph here. So you can see that. So we've pulled that word back, so that word that's come back to the next line. And that also solved our problem of this paragraph splitting over 2 pages. So you can see that's a lot tidier now, looks nicer, and it's a lot easier to read. So the next thing we'll do here, so you can see we've got to the preface of the book now, and we're actually up to page number 9 already. That's actually an incorrect way to number a book. So what we're going to do, we're actually going to renumber this section from here. So we're going to go back to the start, and the start of the book should be numbered with Roman numerals. So the first pages of your book should have Roman numerals. So we'll do that. So you can see now this contents page 3 is actually page number 3 with Roman numerals. And then what we'll do, we'll go to our preface and we'll make this page 1 of the book. So I'll start that at page 1 and there we go. So that's how to correctly number the pages of a book. So the preface starts at page number 1 and you can see the prelims, they're called the prelims, the first pages of the book are all numbered in Roman numerals. So there you go. Now, this is another thing to look out for, equal spacing above and below the headings. Again, it doesn't look too good, and it also just interrupts the flow of the reading. So what we'll do is we'll move those down a little bit. There you go. So you can see that looks a lot nicer, and it also makes it a lot easier to read. So the heading's a lot more closely tied to the text underneath it. Again, we've got a problem here with a single line sitting by itself. So we'll tidy that up a little bit more. There we go. Now you'll see here with these bullets, the bullet lists should be easy to distinguish from the main body of the text. There's a few ways to do this. So if you look at these bullets here, again, I've deliberately messed them up. The text is justified, and also this paragraph under the bullets is also indented. So you can see it makes the bullet lists join in. It's a little bit hard to see where they start and end. So there's a couple of things we do to avoid that. So we'll align the bullets to the left. So you can see that distinguishes the text a bit more. And the other thing we do, our house style here, is to add both a bit of space above this next paragraph here and also remove the indent. So you can see the bullet list now much more distinctive and makes it much more easy to read. The other thing we do is we turn hyphenation off in the bullet lists because you don't need to hyphenate left-aligned text. So you can see the difference there, turning that on and off. That should be off. So there you go. Now you'll see down here, we've got an introduction to the next bullet list, and the introduction sentence is at the bottom of the page and the bullet list is starting at the next page. That's something to be avoided. So what we'll do is we'll take that all over to the next page. So you can see that now the introductory sentence leads into the bullet list on the same page. And again, we'll tidy this up, move that to the left, and add some space there. So you can see it's starting to look a bit better. We'd normally go through and tidy that up. I'm not going to do that now because that takes quite a while. It takes a little bit of shuffling around. Now, you can see here this page, the page header and the page number are missing. You see that quite often. People forget to put the page header and number on the last page of a chapter. So there we go, put those in, and you definitely don't need a page number there. Blank pages, again, no header, no page number. Get rid of that. Okay, so we're nearly there. Just one more thing to look out for. You'll see here, obviously my book doesn't have headings in it called heading 2, heading 3, heading 4. I've just done this to show you how your heading hierarchy should work. So you'll see here, these headings, there's not much differentiation between the heading 2, 3, and 4. The spacing above them is fairly similar. The fonts are similar and they're all bold. So there's not much distinction between those, which makes it a little bit difficult to read. So you'll see on this page, this is much clearer, there's much more differentiation between the headings. So different font weight, and this one here is a different font altogether. So you don't want your headings looking like this, you do want your headings looking like this. And just another little tip here, sometimes some editors call these A headings, B headings, C headings, or headings 1, 2, and 3, something like that. It's all the same, it's just different terminology different editors use. So there you go. There's a few things to look out for in the design of your book. So I hope that's useful. Like I said, I've just run through this a little bit quickly to show you a few things. Normally we go through it much more carefully and take a lot more time to tidy everything up. But hopefully you found that useful and you've learned a few things about an interior layout.